Welcome back to another episode of Set the Tone podcast here at Blinktone Studios. We got a very special guest today. I'll let him introduce himself.
My name is Matt of Thizzler. No, I'm just. My name is C Legal. My name is C Legal for the people. I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to have a good conversation. Let's talk about it, man. What's on your mind?
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, really the first thing, obviously, I feel like most of the people know you from the lives.
Yes, sir.
Break it down from a lot of the people who don't really know what goes behind the scenes from that. How did you get in contact with Thizzler, and how did that get set up, and what's that like?
Well, for one, I had my own personal show and I had everything on my own. So what happened is when I went to Thizzler, they was like, shit, this shit is cost effective and it can bring traction to the brand. So do what you do on your show, bring it to our show, just talk about rap shit. And we started off just having talk shows, talking about rap media, just rap things going on locally. And then it turned into like showcases, and the show's been doing incredible ever since, you know what I'm saying? So just, had my own thing, and then went over there and, did the thing. And I got to give a shout out to two people, Remedy and DJ ASAP, two people who put those calls in like, look, y'all need to get him over here because he is doing some great things on his own. And this on your platform would be a great thing. So, shout out to them. And, it's been going good ever since. The great partnership.
Partnership is the key word, right?
Partnership is the key word, definitely.
If you were to narrow it down to like maybe one characteristics that you think that people kind of gravitate towards, like when they watch your lives or anything that you put out, what is like a common thing that you think that people gravitate towards, whether it be your being transparent, being funny? What do you think is one of the
unapologetically myself, unapologetic. You feel me? Like I call myself the world's greatest square, and I make it known in front of thousands of people in Northern California where this has not always been cool. Like, look, I'm a square. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a pimp. I'm not a thug. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not on none of that. I am a square. I hear the music. I like the music, but I'm not living like that. I come from that environment, but I'm not living like that. And that's not something people see often, where somebody's unapologetically themselves. That just got cool to even call yourself a square. And people still to this day use square as a negative term, and I embraced it. And I think people, like so many people, are just like me. They love that. Like, you know what? I'm a square too. I like the music, but I'm not finna go out here and kill nobody. I'm not finna put 10 pounds in a package and take a flight with this shit. I'm on some square shit too. So I think people really love that. Like, you know what? That nigga's himself, and I can get with that.
I like that. Yeah, I think that, definitely watching your lives, it's like there's a sense where you definitely, if someone's going on it and they're putting music out there and you're not liking it, you'll tell them. Like, you're very transparent, but you're also, I think you definitely uplift a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I think that's something that's very key, is that you got a strong personality, but when people come on and they bring a song and then you give them a good reaction, you might not even realize probably how strong of a thing that is to them when they hear from you, and then you give them that, like, oh yeah, yep, I'm fucking with that. Definitely. Like, that probably really does something to people who haven't gotten on Thizzler, haven't like gotten any attention yet. Like, I think that is something that's really important, is like uplifting the people who haven't gotten any attention yet.
I hate to get too spiritual, but a lot of people you may not notice from how I talk in my language. I'm actually a very spiritual person. So before every show I do, I pray. So I believe that spirit that comes through, that uplifts people, comes from God. I literally pray before every show to be a good servant to these people, because the position I am in is a position of a certain level of power. Yeah. And if you abuse your power, you can become a victim to it. And I never wanted to do that. I wanted to make sure I'm serving properly with the power I do have. And I think that's why I keep having success, even when I don't feel like doing the show, or even when I think the show, might be over or people not fucking with it no more. It keeps going because it's not an abuse of power.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe just for someone, if one of our listeners doesn't know what this show that we're talking about, could you just kind of describe to the people kind of like what basically it is and what?
Well, I got two shows. I got the CD Live, which I do on my platform on Instagram, which I'll get into later. And then I got the Thizzler IG Live, where we let artists on Wednesday, they come and battle. On Thursday, they play their songs and review it. And on Sundays, we have the Sunday Showcase. We do 2-hour long shows, and people just showcase their talent. And it's important because thousands of artists have no platform to showcase their talent. So this gives an artist a platform to showcase their talent in front of people. People who have gotten deals. Producers regularly sell beats on these shows, literally making money. We gamble and have battles where people have verse for verse battles and beat battles. So it's a platform. It's giving people who have no platform a platform, and it's free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's literally free. You just log on. You may or may not get picked because it's hundreds of people trying to get on. But it's an avenue to give a voice and a platform for the unheard.
Before you started with Thizzler, did you have any kind of understanding of the music industry, whether it be through friends or like I know you had a clothing brand, something like that?
Absolutely.
You already did you have like somewhat of an understanding of how it went, and did it help you when you were transitioning into the Thizzler show?
Yeah, but I've always been studying branding and studying the Northern California industry. Like I've always I used to really look at how HBK moved a lot. And before that, and before I got to Thizzler, I was working really closely with an artist named Remedy. Remedy's a very popular producer, in Northern California. And I learned a lot just working up under him. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing how the industry moves, seeing the politics, seeing the audience, how they responded to certain things and didn't respond to certain things. So as I seen that, I used that when I got on a platform, as far as music goes.
Right. In terms of Northern California and the politics, do you see that translated on the lives? Like, when you ever have somebody on there?
Oh, hell yeah.
What is that
like? It be shit I don't even know about. If you snitched, soon as you get on live, it's going to be 100 motherfuckers. Rat emojis, rat. And I'm like, shit. And then I always got to make my famous announcement. My name is Bennett. And I ain't in it. My name is Paul, and that's between y'all. I'm here for the talent. Right. I'm not here for the gangster shit. And I think people like that. Like, you know what? He's completely removing himself out of politics, something that I believe Thizzler has had trouble doing, even though we're partners and I don't have problems. A lot of people always claim Thizzler for being political. So when I get on there and say, I'm not in none of this shit, I'm here for talent only, people are like, oh, this is different. You know what I'm saying? But I can't speak for them. I can only speak for myself, and I represent me, and I'm not in that shit. So
I mean, do you think it takes being physically verbal about it, saying, "Hey, I'm not a part of that"? Because even for example, what we do when we do videos, it's like you find yourself in this position where you'll shoot a video with one artist, and then all of a sudden their homies see the work, and then you start working with them, and all of a sudden you're in this position where they're like, okay, so you're so and so's, this area is videographer or whatever. Do you think it takes physically being especially in Northern California, saying, hey, I'm not a part of none of that shit? Because with us, it kind of make more sense.
Absolutely.
Obviously,
I've seen that, them trying to hold videographers accountable for street shit.
Right. Yeah. So it's just does it take being verbal, or is it more action? I mean, in terms of being out there saying, working with these different kinds of people, what do you?
Well, at the end, before we're hosts, before we're videographers, before we're business people, we're men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as a man, we have to set a standard and the tone for ourselves. Exactly. After I set the tone, I can't be held accountable for an idiot. So a motherfucker who gonna believe what they want to believe, I can't do nothing about that. I can only protect myself if certain energy come. But I can't sit here and just be out here pleading, hey, I'm not this, I'm not this. No, I'm not finna be begging and pleading with no nigga. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm on. This is what I've made clear. After that, if you still want to believe it, that's on you. But we can't sit around and just beg people, and we can't let people stop our businesses. These are our businesses. We ain't finna just be out here just like, oh, I can't do this because he gonna trip. We're business people, and we're conducting business. Whoever can't respect business don't deserve to do business.
So where do you see the line being drawn as far as some people in our position shooting videos, or somebody in your position who's putting a spotlight? Where is the line where it's okay?
Great question. That's an excellent question.
I'm not a part of this, but where do you start crossing the line to where it's
Great question.
Now this is on you?
I just seen a videographer. He shot and I know y'all probably seen this. He shot the video of this dude sitting on his ops daddy back. And you can look this up on the internet. This dude was sitting on this man's back, and the videographer shooting the video. What happened was the person who daddy that group, shot up the videographer house. He deserved it. You deserved it because you humiliated this man, and you thought it was cool to shoot that. You went too far. So as a videographer, nigga, you're accountable. For me, if I get on here and I'm letting you diss, I remember somebody tried to do it with somebody that passed. I said, oh, no, you're going to have to pick another song. Right. I can't let you on my platform specifically say somebody's name and you just blatantly just trying to go at somebody, hey, I can't allow this here. And I let those things known at the beginning. So there is a line, you know what I'm saying? We all have to respect certain boundaries, but at the same time, it's certain things out of our control. If you shooting a video and this nigga just say, hey, fuck everybody and their mama on the other side, you can't do nothing about that. Right. But if this nigga trying to go to his ops hood, he got his ops family and all this type of shit, or he try to send you a picture like, hey, put the ops baby in this video, okay, now you're accountable.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, so that's interesting that you say that because obviously, I mean, it's not even within politics, it's just human decency. Like
exactly.
There's certain things that you should just know, but then also, I mean, you got to think there are like random like instances where, like, for example, say you get sent a picture of the ops baby or whatever, and they don't let you know that, then you're not quite aware of what's going on. And to be fair to some like videographers, directors, they're not even at the position where they could say, oh, I'm not doing this video. Like, you know, that's their livelihood. Where
Absolutely.
It's like you get to a point where you can start saying no to things and knowing that there's stuff going on. But I've shot videos myself where I didn't know that there was anything political at play. I just kind of just did it just because I had to, you know. It was just part of.
That's a good point, because I think that like what you said is that it's like some people aren't in the position where they can be turning down certain videos or turning down working with some certain people. But do you believe that it's like no matter what, if you are made aware of something, say it's like you're shooting a diss song and you just started shooting videos, or you just started this platform and you're working on whatever, and somebody's coming on there with diss songs or whatever, maybe it's a bigger artist, do you think that even though it's like if you turn down working with this one person, or you turn down, like, you're blatantly like, I'm not with this, are you accountable for essentially putting your newly found career in jeopardy? Or do you think that regardless, whatever it is from the start, you should set a precedent that I'm not working with this and this is not why I came?
I think you should set the precedent from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you're unaware of something, then you're made aware. It's on you as a man to make it right. Fuck the videographer, fuck a host. As a man, you got to make it right. I never want to you never want to be disrespecting the dead, disrespecting somebody's children. You know, you never want to be involved in that. So if it's an accident, you had nothing to do with it. Okay, this is accident. But if you're made aware and then somebody respectfully like, hey, like this is just an example of far-fetched, hey, that's my child in there. And, you know, I'm at odds with him. You know, you want to be like, hey, I had no idea. I didn't know. I apologize. It won't happen again. I would approach the artist. Hey, this is not okay. And, you know, clear yourself from it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some things you don't know, because you're not finna just be in everybody politics while you're shooting videos. So if you don't know, you don't know. But when you do know, it's on you to make it right. And that's all you can do is apologize and move forward. But you can't beg nobody or, you know, try to be no Avenger and save the world.
Yeah. I was going to say, talking about going back to the live, I was going to say, I've hopped on live a couple times, and I'm like, bro, what? I can't even figure out how I could talk to, like, no one. I'm, like, talking to myself for, like, 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, I end it. And so, like, it really...
Live stressed me out.
It really is a skill. And where do you think that, like, whether it be holding on to a conversation or having a bunch of people in one chat room and being able to navigate in course, like, how people feel towards a certain artist or whatever, where do you get those skills from, whether it be school or where you're from? Like, where do you think those
I think it just comes from, you know, being from the hood, having to learn how to navigate certain conversations. And then what my story is a little interesting because it happened to a lot of people. I'm from the hood, but due to gentrification, we came to a suburban area, which then turned to another hood. But in doing that, you learn both audiences. You learn how to speak to these people because you're from this, but then you learn you got to adapt because now you're in this new area and you can't talk to them like you talk to the people in the hood. So I think that is what helped me learn how to navigate certain conversations and talk to people. And as far as the live goes, that's something that just comes with experience, just doing it over and over. I've been going live since 2017 when it kind of was first introduced. So after you do it for a certain amount of time and you learn the actual audience, it becomes easier and easier to do for me. But for most people, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot, bro. It is a lot. After 5 minutes, I'm done.
It's a different form of, like, connecting with people.
Absolutely.
Because there's different levels to it where it's like you're talking with a person through a mobile device, which we're all like at this point,
Absolutely.
everybody's comfortable with. Added on top of that, you're connecting with a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Added on top of that, it's live.
Absolutely.
And it's recorded. So there's all these levels of where it's like you're focusing on connecting with somebody through a phone, but you're also aware that there's a lot of other people watching, and that this is recorded, and this will be taken far beyond this conversation. So is that something that's running through your mind, like, or are you just so used to it that it's like it doesn't even faze you that there could be however many people watching it live?
It runs through my mind because sometimes you like a couple weeks ago we had G-Eazy on there, and when G-Eazy got on there, it was thousands and thousands and thousands of people coming in. So at that point, you got to learn how to navigate with this brand new audience. I can't be too ratchet because they not gonna understand it,
Right.
but I also have to be, myself.
Yeah.
So you just kind of got to know, you got to basically fill the room, and you got to know how to code switch. Because, I know some people be like, oh, fuck that, I'm going to do me. You don't want to be on there talking like a Bay nigga in front of this brand new audience. They're going to be like, oh, what the fuck? Saying bitch a million times and fuck these hoes. And the way we talk is a little different than most people. So, it's always a challenge. It's a never ending learning process. You're always learning. You know what I'm saying?
There's there's a lot of talk always about the music scene and things like the evolution of how things have to be different in terms of like artists branching out. But besides that, within the industry still, when it comes to lives or shows, like what do you think? Do you see any new kind of things prospering out the Bay, or you have any ideas? Like where do you want to see, like in terms of like shows, comedy clubs, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Where do you see that in the next 5-10 years? You see yourself a part of that, like aside from, I would say, just the show business kind of vibe.
Nah, I don't know. I kind of like a more behind the scenes approach.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just because being in front of a camera comes with a lot. It's heavy on your mental. It's heavy on your emotional. And essentially, I'm gonna tell y'all something that I've noticed. Everybody want to be famous. Everybody wants to be famous. A lot of people will lie. Everybody want to be famous. So when you're the one getting attention, you now become the target.
Yeah.
And that can get, it can get a lot when you value peace. Like one of my things, I love philanthropy work. Like, I do a lot of philanthropy work. I don't want to get into my whole resume and be boastful, but people who follow me and know me know I do a lot of philanthropy work. That's more of my passion than just being famous and getting clout. That shit just too heavy. Like when it comes naturally to me, it's giving. So I would rather take a more behind the scenes approach, serve somebody who wants to be famous and wants to be that, and I would much rather be behind the scenes and helping somebody else. That's how I got started, and I would if that's profitable, I would definitely much rather do that.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm super interested to see like how things. I know a lot of people have that, like Fab and a couple other people got clubs going on.
Absolutely.
And just seeing more things other than just focused on just rap, like whether it be like like new studios or new like comedy clubs or stuff like that, because that's all a part of the culture. That's all a part of like branching out and making the Bay Area a lot more well known for something different than just having a bunch of artists.
Like people want to come to the Bay Area because there's stuff to do. When people think of like, oh, I want to go to LA. Why do you want to go to LA? Because there's a lot of industry and there's lots of clubs, there's lots of studios, there's lots of physical places and physical stuff that you can go do, and that's why so many people go out there to network.
Absolutely.
Kind of branching into, what do you think that the Bay Area is lacking as far as like becoming a cultural hub to a certain extent, and what do you think that the Bay Area should improve on? Like, what do you think that we need more of something, or do you think that what's your opinion?
For one, I believe a lot of us in the Bay, this is gonna piss some people off. We have to work on our attitudes. I'm gonna start there. We can be a little bit arrogant and egotistical, and you don't know that till you go other places. Like, we are the shit, but you don't always gotta essentially say it. You don't have to be an asshole about it. You know what I'm saying? And doing that, just look at I believe in copying, not necessarily copying, but taking things from people that are successful. So let's see what LA does. Let's see what Atlanta does. Let's see what New York does. Let's see what these other hubs do and add it to what we do.
Yeah.
You know,
analyzing their model and not replicating it, but implementing some
Yeah.
of their successful tools and their methods and bringing it over here. That's
yeah. So I think we could do more of that, but more importantly though, just honestly though, the Bay has a lot going on. We got tech and all of that. I think just monetizing and taking advantage of things we have here in our backyard. You know what I'm saying? But I think it all boils down to attitude. I can't lie. It boils down to attitude. We know how to point out a problem. We know how to pop it. We know how to talk. We know how to, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to be action based, then things start to fizzle out a little bit. That group becomes a lot smaller when it's time to be action based and actually do things that are going to change. That's why Mr. Fab is so important, because he does things. He got his class going on. He got his club going on. He got his own brand. He writes. He raps. He understands, creating his own platform and doing things to become successful. I think we just need to start following people that are more successful and, adding that to what we do and, moving forward.
I think that's definitely super important. I mean, that's something that we were talking about with Russ on the pod. It was that's really the main reason why we did start doing this podcast, was because we have a lot of people out here that have great ideas. Everybody I know has great ideas. Everybody I know out here is so creative, but it takes someone from an area or a neighborhood that they know for somebody to do it from there, and people are able to, oh, I could do that as well. And it takes those kind of people out here for people to start doing stuff on their own. Yeah. And that's with Fab and even with you, because you kind of have a different lane that you don't see a lot of people go in.
Absolutely.
Or actually, I don't really know anybody that's kind of went in that lane. So I feel like it opens those doors to kids from around here saying,
Absolutely.
"Oh, damn, I can take that route, and it's not too unattainable because Wooty Whoop did it from."
Absolutely. Innovation is everything. Like, a lot of people used to say, "Oh, why you doing a live? Why you don't go on YouTube? Or you should get a TV show." But you're forgetting that they created IGTV because the usage is so high, meaning people are on Instagram more than anything.
Yeah.
They're spending hours and hours and hours on Instagram. So Instagram is the new TV. People are on Instagram more than they watch cable TV. That's why somebody like me or other influencers who can never be on TV can be a star, even a bigger star than somebody on TV, because that IG shit is a lot more powerful than people give it credit for. So innovation is everything. We have to start innovating. And I hate to pat myself on the back, but I innovated that live shit, meaning a lot of people were going live, but I was one of the first people way back in 2017 who took the live and created a show. I made an actual scheduled show, like a talk show from it, where we had topics and we interviewing people, and that's what I did on my own platform, and I still do to this day. And it became something. And then when the pandemic hit, everybody ran the live because there was nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's a thing, and we have to innovate. You know what I'm saying? It's time to stop waiting around for something to shake and just this is what I believe in. This is what I'm going to do. Y'all believed in y'all podcast. Y'all started it. So it's just time to, innovate and be action based.
So do you really believe in the Instagram platform as far as because like what you were saying, that a lot of people are saying, oh, why don't you go to YouTube? Why don't you maybe go to Spotify, make a podcast? Do you believe that those other platforms where it's if you start a YouTube show or you start a podcast and you start putting stuff on Spotify, those other platforms are oversaturated, and you think that you want to continue on IG because not even genuinely, you did innovate that platform before other people were starting it, and that's kind of one of the reasons why when you think of it's just you are that person who started that trend. So do you believe that you want to continue on that platform, or do you want to branch out into?
I want to evolve, just because Instagram with their new rules and how they cracking down.
Yeah.
I would like to evolve. It's wise to evolve, but one thing I'm learning is you want to master one thing at a time. You don't want to try to just be this. You don't want to try to master Spotify, YouTube, and all at once. Just take your time. All right, I kind of mastered the Instagram thing. Now it's time to evolve. Maybe go to YouTube or Spotify with a podcast. You definitely definitely want to be evolving and getting in different lanes, but just with Instagram, they're so powerful because it's so convenient. Everybody's
Everybody
there.
has it.
Yeah.
Everybody is right, and it's free. Like it's free. It's no commercials. It's boom right here. You already own it. So it's like, I'm here, I got something for you while you're here. It's like going to the gas station. You go to the gas station, you got the gas, but now you can go into the store, get your water, your chips, your juice, your snacks. They got condoms if you need it. Instagram is that, and now they're making it profitable. I was like, Zuckerberg and them is some fucking geniuses where people can buy badges or, you know what I'm saying?
Did you peep that new? They basically emulate. I mean, they have been emulating TikTok with the reels and stuff. But did you peep the new update where it's like, say you're scrolling and you post a video, they click the video.
Yep, I seen that.
Expand up, and
Yeah.
then
You
it
can
instantly
swipe.
start going to your swipe. So now it's a different new feed through
And
your
it's
swipe.
to make you more
I'm like,
addicted.
wow.
It's
Like,
literally,
as soon as
yeah.
I realized I could swipe, I was like, oh damn,
It's to
they
keep
did it
you
again.
on the app,
They
which
got
to
you
make the
hooked.
usage go higher.
They got you
Yep.
so
You know what
hooked
I'm
right
saying?
there. They changed the
This-
game with that one just because they knew that, like, okay, you're probably went through your same feed already hella bored. So once you click that one, now you're on a whole separate
Well,
feed.
they're really trying to get you to move to more of the explore feed, where it's like like Instagram, the majority of your feed, it's all based on the people that you follow, and that's based on your genuine social network. So those people that don't have, you know, all you're looking at on Instagram is your own social network. You're gonna get bored of it. So they're really trying to push you into the explore feed, where it's like, okay, the whole world, everybody, like that's where the Instagram
And that creates opportunity for brands, because now it's like, if your content is good, more people might be able to see it, which brings more attention to your brand. It's going to bring more merch sales, more everything, more sponsorships. Like that shit matters. Like, and they're just trying. They know how to keep people hooked. That's a hell of a man, and they know how to. You know, they competing with TikTok, so it's like, we gonna go in.
Yeah.
Kind of step into something a little bit separate. When it comes to, like, once you start getting in like offers and deals and brand deals and stuff like that, what's like a little piece of advice that you would give to somebody that like is experiencing this for the first time, whether it be like, you know, it's when you don't have shit, it's easy to say yes to everything, but you know, everything is not going to benefit you. Sometimes it hurts you more to say yes to everything than saying no. No is a super powerful word that I've been practicing a lot more, because you just got to be more selective, especially when it's you as a personal brand. And you know, that's one of them. Yeah, I'll let you back.
I would say, because obviously every situation is different, but what I am learning is everybody needs a team. So if people are offering you a deal and it's going to be a team effort and it's going to help your brand, I would say considering it. But if they just trying to use you, because that happens too, where somebody just trying to use you either for your clout or like you're a great videographer, they might just want to use you to work you like a slave and you're not really benefiting much from it, just some money. Then no, you know what I'm saying? If it's just all I'm gonna get here is some money, nah, that's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna need something more than money. I'm gonna need somebody maybe to do some graphic design, maybe help with some editing, or just somebody who's gonna shop my brand around and get, you know, me to new places. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna need rather than just money. If you're just moving for the money, you're gonna be a slave to it, and that's not gonna be good.
Like utilizing each new opportunity, not as just a check, but how to move on to the next chapter.
Absolutely. Even if somebody want to do promotions with you, like it might be like, let's say Red Bull want to do a deal. Okay, if I do this deal with Red Bull, are y'all gonna market me as like I market y'all?
Yeah.
Are y'all gonna give me these looks and put me in these rooms where I'm going to be able to expand my brand, or is it just y'all gonna throw some money at me and y'all want me to promote Red Bull like a motherfucker and I can't do no business with no other drink companies? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it don't necessarily always make sense if it's just for the money, unless Red Bull got a big old bag. But you know what I'm saying?
Like you said, it's circumstantial. It changes between
exactly. It changes, but it's just business. One thing I do want to say is when doing business, like make sure you come with an open mind. Because you know you don't want to be too independent, you don't want to be too dependent. You want to have a healthy medium, because this deal can either make you or break you, and you don't want to just be like. And I say this because I remember JT the Bigger Figure always talks about how he turned down Master P, and then right after he turned down Master P, the No Limit shit happened. You know, JT still did okay, but he ain't did no limit shit. They legendary, and it's like. yeah, all this independent, I want to do it myself. It's like, shit, I could have been here. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
This
right.
could have been different.
Right.
So you just don't want to, you want to make sure you having an open mind and you weighing your options and you looking, you know what I'm saying, what makes sense.
Yeah, weighing your options for sure. That's definitely a big key.
Because that no limit shit, it was a team.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of motherfuckers
Yeah.
together pushing a movement.
Yeah.
And then JT and the Bay, we just always been a bunch of lone wolf.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And we seen the no limit shit went further than anybody has in the Bay.
That's one thing that I think, is one of those things that a lot of people need to get on board, is just working together and just knowing that you could only take yourself so far without not asking for the go ahead or from other people, but at least asking, what do you think, from people that you trust around you, and not only just the homies, but people that are skilled in this area, like, whether it be marketing or whatever.
Would you sign a deal? I seen a Empire sign a videographer or a photographer before. Would y'all do
he
that?
This photographer signed with him. It depends. I'll have to weigh the options. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing a lot of work with Empire recently, and the way that we have it set up right now is the way I like it. Just
Makes
hey,
sense.
bro, we got this video for you. It would be a good opportunity. Boom, work. But it doesn't exclude me working with anybody else, like you said. So it's like if a deal was on the table and it was saying, hey, like, we want you to only exclusively work with us and you can't shoot with anybody that you personally book, well, then it has to come with incentives where it's like, okay, I need to be, like you said, promoted as well. That way, when I do come out of this deal, people are not only thinking I'm still working with you guys. People know me as a director when I come out of this deal, and I can work with more people where they're not, you know what I'm saying? So it has to, just weigh the pros and cons. But I think
Empire have your ass busy though.
Right.
They have you busy as a motherfucker because you're pretty talented. So they have you shooting 2-3 videos a week.
Nah, I'm telling you that when I have been working with them, it was no joke. Like, man, shot a video with Money Man, and literally, like, that day it was just, oh, you want to shoot another one right now? I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then shot half the video, and then they're like, oh, let's finish the next video on Wednesday, and it was like a Monday. Okay, Wednesday come around. All right, we wrapping up. Are you down to shoot one in an hour and a half? It's gonna be like 100 people in here. So you ready to do that one? I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? But it's just like
so that workload is heavy.
Oh yeah, it's heavy, but it's nothing that I'm I wasn't ready for. We were talking about it with Blast. It was like, man, about a year ago, I was thinking, you always think like, man, I should be doing bigger projects, or I should be doing whatever. But then I realized in that moment, this happened like a month ago. I realized in that moment, I was like, man, a year ago, I would not have been ready for this.
Man,
so I'm like,
yeah.
I was actually thinking like, nah, things do happen when they're things do happen when they're supposed to. Because about a year ago, if they had me shoot 3 videos back to back, like one of the videos, it was Money Man and 600 Breezy, and I didn't hear the song. I get there. It's in the Empire office, and we're literally like, there's like 14 models, like 4 strippers. There's like Breezy, Money Man, and I haven't even heard the song yet. And everybody's asking me, all right, what do we do? And I'm like, oh shit, I just kind of fell back on what I know. So let's knock out the solos first, and then let's knock out all the B-roll. And it was just a formula that I was used to. But I really, after that night, I was thinking, damn, like a year ago, I would have been fumbling.
Yeah.
Because since I wasn't ready to shoot that video, my speaker was dead. 2 of my lights were dead. So basically, I had no lights and not a speaker. But so we basically we played it off the phone for one. Imagine being in Empire and playing
on the
phone. But a year ago, that would have had affected me. I'd have been like, oh my God, this is so bad. But I was really thinking, no, it's better that I'm here really just pulling it off the phone. And then the video came out fire. So I'm super.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Now, mentally, is that workload a lot for? Like, I understand. That's a lot of work to be doing because not only do you have to shoot 2-3 videos a day, these need to be edited and people want them back in a timely fashion.
Right.
And some of these artists are big artists. They like, nigga, I'm not finna wait 2-3 months for my video.
Yeah.
And then you still got back videos from locals.
Right.
Is that a lot on you mentally and emotionally?
I mean, right as soon as those videos rolled around, I had just finished my busy. I was in the middle of my busiest month ever. I had shot like 35 videos in 1 month.
Damn.
And I had these 3. This was the month where we shot our video too, and I had these 3. It was 3 major videos, So it was a lot knowing that, okay, I'm gonna have to promise them a faster turnaround time, even though I got people that I shot for, and I gotta deliver their video, and I can't be fake on them and be like, hey bro, I got this huge video, so let me push your video back and then do this one first. Like, no, I still gotta knock your video out on time and do these videos and make sure everything is at high quality.
Definitely.
So because you know, obviously the purpose of doing videos with bigger artists is to
Expand the brand.
and it brings you more promotion, right? But then again, all these artists that don't have the same notoriety, I hold them to the same value because these are the people that are shooting with me every month and they're shooting with me every week. So it's like, it's almost the same pressure on both ends. It's like I'm trying to deliver these people that got 1,000 followers the same quality as these videos. And the only pressure, the editing, I knew I was gonna be able to it's just a matter of just sitting down all day, all night editing. I knew I could do that. But with the bigger videos, the pressure really was that I didn't hear any of the songs beforehand, so I really had no pre-thought concepts for it. And then also, you know, like throughout each video, Ghazi was there like leaning over the shoulder, like you know, this is
Some multi-millionaire
is that what you
over your shoulder.
you gonna, is that what you're gonna do? Okay, I think you should do it like this. And I'm like, you want to tell him you want to do what he said, because that's basically
Ghazi,
it's his
nigga.
video. But then again, you also know, like, knowing this is you know that maybe a shot that he said or money or anybody, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna do that, even though we only have 2 hours. I'm gonna do everything that you said, but we have to do it the way I'm saying it, because this is the only way it's gonna turn out good.
Makes
So
sense.
it's like that's the pressure, was being in this position where it's like, okay, I'm taking on these projects I wasn't supposed to because I was overbooked, and then also delivering what they're saying, but also doing what I want to do. So
Yeah, one thing about y'all videographers, like, the accessibility is like a thing. You don't want to become too accessible and you just shooting a bunch of bullshit, missing out on big shit, but then you don't want to be no accessible, you're not making no money. How do y'all balance that?
That shit.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that it's like, I feel like with anything, I feel like people make excuses for why they can't, like, that you're too busy to do whatever. Like,
Wait, by the way, before he says this is the most busiest director in the Bay Area right now. He literally shoots per month more than anybody shoots out here. I promise you that. I swear to God.
nah, I've been trying to slow down, but like, but I think the whole thing, my opinion with life in general, is that it's like, even if you do slack off and you're kind of doing less than what you think that you should be doing, like, just being aware that if you really wanted to do something, you could do anything that you want. As far as like, if you really, like, if you're at work and then all of a sudden, like, your girl is tripping on you over something, and then, like, you really gotta go back and go figure it out with her, you're gonna leave work. And it's like, because you really feel like you need to do that. But if somebody else was like, oh, bro, I need you to pull up on me right now, you're at work, you're not gonna do that because you don't really want to do that. Like, my thing is that it's like, you know, there's however many days, or there's however many hours in a day that you're awake. You technically, like, there's literally nothing holding you back from pushing out every single hour that you're awake and doing something. It's just like, are you ready mentally to be able to, like, push that out? So it's like, that's my take on it, where it's like, if you are taking some time for yourself and you're picking and choosing what you want to work on, like, power to you, because that's like, maybe that's your process, where it's like less is more, and the less you take on, the more you can output. But I think that, you know, just in general, anybody can do anything that they want to do. It's only them holding themselves back and thinking that they can't do that.
Aside from just the workload, but building the personal brand, I think that's when being accessible, you have to make those choices, because working with everybody, like I said, you have to know when to say no, because working with everybody can hurt your image when you're just like, you're trying to shoot these bigger projects. You can't shoot everybody's video, because then it hurts the quality of other things. So I think that being a good balance of working with artists that don't have a lot of notoriety is a good balance but alongside working with people. You have to find the balance, because you can't just be the guy that I'm only shooting with you if you have a blue check. Like that's that's
phony.
That's phony.
That's
but
phony.
No, I was only saying like just physically it is possible to shoot with everybody if you put your mind to it, you physically can. Like I feel like a lot of people like say, "Oh, I physically can't do that. I cannot. There's no way that I can shoot 40 videos in a month." Physically, you can. And anybody who's shooting
yeah,
videos,
but you're an exception, bro. Like
but
How many hours a day are y'all sitting in front of a computer?
too many. Like there's a reason why.
Yeah,
Fucked up necks and you're all
Not a
hunched
phone,
over.
an actual computer edited. How often a day?
well, I mean, it depends, because sometimes I arrange it to where there's editing days and there's shooting days. So like, I mean, but on a normal day, if I'm shooting 7 days a week, it look like probably, besides the editing, it's like an hour drive somewhere, and then you do a 4-hour shoot, an hour back, and then you come back, you edit. My normal editing sessions are normally like 8 to 12 hours. So like I can't edit during the day. I don't know why I can't do it. I edit at night. So normally I edit from like 8, and then sometimes I go all the way to like 5, 6. So I do that. I damn near do that all the time. I mean, sometimes I slack off, but
I mean, it kind of just depends on the person. The reason why like certain people can shoot more than other people is like, for me, my editing workflow is like I'm pretty light on the edits, so it doesn't take me as long to really edit most of the videos. Like it's just kind of how I edit lends itself easy for me to do a lot of videos to crank it out. But it's all about just like kind of figuring out what your style is. But I don't know.
One thing I've been personally balancing is just because like just studying this industry, I said I'm not gonna let this industry swallow me whole, because there's things that's more important to me than this industry. Family
100%.
Family means a lot to me. My philanthropy work means a lot to me. Being able to just sit, like I'm watching Dexter right now. I just started watching a show called Dexter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Being able to eat a meal and enjoy a show and watch a series means a lot to me mentally, and it helps me be more creative, just my personal time. So I said, I'm not finna let this industry just swallow me up, and I'm just so consumed with a bunch of motherfuckers who don't even care about me. Fuck the money.
Right.
Like my mental health, my emotional health, my life means a lot to me. You feel me?
That's super. Man, it's funny that you say that, because that's the trickiest part about the thing. Like the workload, the everything, that's the easy parts. For me, is balancing that part, because you don't realize how important that is. Like just the other day, I was, I feel like I was putting like when you're doing personal brand, there's no clock, there's no time
you
you stop working.
24/7.
You're
It's all day
24/7,
job,
7 days a week. So you always feel like you need to be doing something. So like the other day, I took a trip to Mexico with my family, and that's where they're from. And it's like a trip that you can't really ever go on again, because I'm not gonna get my uncle, everybody there.
Absolutely.
And I had this opportunity in Houston, and it was a huge opportunity. And I literally told him, I caught myself, and the person I was with after I got off the phone was like, "Are you serious?" Because like they called me, it was like, "Oh, I need Saturday. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be on TV, all the type of shit." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then I said, "All right, yeah." Even though I was supposed to fly out on Saturday morning, I was like, this was Friday. I was like, "Yep, I'm I got you. I'm gonna come in on Saturday, Sunday." And then I called myself. I called my dad. I was like, "Yep, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I can't come no more." Boom. And then the person right next to me was like, "Are you serious, bro? Like, is it really that important? You not?" I was like, "Man, you really think about it. I've been putting people I've never even met in my life, and this
Exactly.
shit before even my
Exactly.
family and my well-being." Like I was just like work mode, and it's just you can't live that way.
And I hate to get too deep, but death is permanent. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're gonna lose people we love,
That's
parents, uncles, auntie. That's gonna happen. And what do you want your memories to be like from hella long ago, because you've been so caught up in your own life that you have not prioritized these people, and now you got to sit at the funeral and reflect like, damn, I wish I would have. You know what I'm saying? I can't live like that. That's why I'm saying. And I know who truly loves me. If this shit go away tomorrow, I know who's still gonna give a fuck about me.
Right.
You feel me?
And not even just the I wish. It's also like, as artists, and even for you, it's like, how are you gonna have a show and consistently come with the you know, not just the comedy, but the sense of humor. I mean, the sense of humor, the personality, all this. If you're not living life, that's what I realized.
Exactly.
I was like, man, I realized, I was like, why is my work coming out the same? I was like, bro, I'm not even living life and having experiences to tell a new story. So I realized I've been telling new stories. I'm like, it's because I'm living more life. And so I think that's important with any kind of creative field.
Exactly.
Is that if you got to work a lot to get to where you're going, but then again, you got to live life. Otherwise, your work is not going to be what you want it to be.
Exactly. You got to live to create. This is a great conversation.
This was a great conversation. You know, if we always wrap up the episodes, if a kid or anybody wanted to do something along the lines of what you do, wanted to hop in the same lane, or you know, wanted to be like in a similar career path, what would a piece of advice you would give, whether it be, like you said, living life, or would it be, you know, trying to find your own path, or, you know, what could you share? What could you share?
I got a couple. One, pray. And whether if you're an atheist, find something greater than yourself to believe in. Believe in yourself, obviously, but realize that there's a greater power out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. I believe in God. So I believe in praying, have a source, have a center, you know what I'm saying, have a soul. I think that's, for one, important. And after that, number two would be extremely consistent. Be extremely consistent, meaning work hard, obviously, be consistent in your work, but also be consistent in your love with your family. Like, be consistent, have that good balance, and just work your ass off. But at the same time, love your family too. Go on those trips. Be at the family events, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that. You know, be there, do that. You know what I'm saying? And be consistent with both. And once you do that, you can't lose. You got your family who you there active present for, and you got your career that you active present for. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, that's great. All right, you've been watching Set the Tone. This is
See Legal for the People. Let's talk about it. Yee.